Okay. I am Brian. Here's my audience. Brittany's going to be my camera lady. And I'm going to do my intercultural speech today. Originally I was going to just talk about my trip to Ireland and go over some of the things that I did there. But this talk is going to go a little different than that. But I will show you some of the highlights of my trip. These are the Cliffs of Moher. It was said that when St. Patrick brought Christianity to Ireland, that the Celtic gods hid in caves, and 100 years after they hid there, they turned into horses and ran over these cliffs, killing themselves. That's awesome. This is the Brazen Head. It's the oldest pub in Ireland. It was established in 1198. James Joyce used to hang out there all the time. He actually mentions it in the book Ulysses. Next we have Blarney Castle. This is the home of the Blarney Stone. It was built in 1446 by Dermot McCarthy. He was the King of Munster. And you go up to the top and you kiss the stone, and it's supposed to give you the gift of gab. I did that. It doesn't seem to be working though for me, does it? So yeah, so those are some really cool things that I did in Ireland. But this is my favorite part. That is St. James Gate. It is the entrance to the Guinness Storehouse in Dublin. This is where Guinness all began. If you don't know what Guinness is, it's a dry Irish stout. It's absolutely delicious. I think that it is the nectar of the gods. If you haven't tried it, definitely suggest it. So I thought that I would give you a little history lesson on Guinness. It's my favorite potent potable. That's a Jeopardy reference. Arthur Guinness was the creator and namesake of this tasty beverage. His date of birth is subject to speculation, but most accounts say that he was born in 1725. Not that it really matters when he was born, I'm just really glad that he was, so that he could make Guinness. He purchased this brewery in 1759 with inheritance from his godfather, and went on to create this beverage. He must have known that he was going to be successful, because he leased this property for 9,000 years with what amounts to about 147 US dollars with an annual payment of 66 US dollars. That's a pretty good bargain. The brewery lies on the River Liffey and runs through Dublin, and this was important because that's how they exported all the beverages all over the world. As I said, it's a dry Irish stout created with roasted barley, hops, yeast, and water. As you'll see in a minute, it has a very dark color, and a lot of people think that it's black or dark brown, but it's actually ruby red. Terrible lighting in here, so you probably won't be able to tell. But the head of the beer is actually so thick that when you pour it, the bubbles rise through the middle and then cascade down the side. So it looks like the bubbles are actually sinking instead of floating. So I would love to demonstrate how to pour a Guinness draft, but we don't have one. But I am a loser, and I have this little poster here. And this kind of shows you how to pour a Guinness. Now, a perfect Guinness pour takes 119.5 seconds if done properly. So as you can see, to pour the beverage, you start with a clean glass, tip at a 45-degree angle, you pour, and you pour just up until about where the harp is. You have to use an official Guinness glass, or you're not drinking a Guinness. You let the beer settle. Usually a bartender, if done properly, will sit it there and let you watch the beautiful bubbles. Then they top it off, and then they give it to you, and you drink it. So what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to show you how to pour a Guinness out of a can. Now, when you open this, you're going to hear a really interesting noise. It has a thing called a widget. It's a little ball, and inside the ball, there's a bit of Guinness and a bit of nitrogen. So this is supposed to actually taste like it would if you poured it draft. Now, to do this pour, this is actually a one single pour. You don't have to do the settle. Tip at a 45-degree angle, keep your finger on the heart, and you pour in one continuous motion. And as you see the beer rise up to the bottom of the heart, you start your tip up and finish it up. So you're going to start to see the head form a little bit here, and it's going to look mighty tasty. I don't know how well you can see that, but the bubbles are actually falling. So yeah, I guess that's about it. Hopefully you got a little taste of Ireland, and I'm going to leave you with the Irish word of the day, which is cheers in Irish, slàinte. Thank you for listening.